Hello and welcome to a special broadcast on Euro 2020 Football Championship of the Field. European Championship is entering its knockout phase. The knockout stage at Euro 2020 is set with a lopsided bracket and a series of high-profile matchups in the round of 16 headlining the elimination phase of the competition. Germany and Portugal ultimately prevailed after a pair of 2-2 draws to secure the final berths in the knockout stage. Can England pass Germany? Will Wales manage to beat popular Denmark? And can anybody stop France and Italy this summer? Off the Field is your guide to Euro 2020 Football Championship. But first, let's get started with the top story. The Euro 2020 group phase has been a memorable one, with a gripping drama in every four-nation pool as we narrow down to 16 teams. Here, let's take a look at the matchups, times and location for those 8 matchups as the road to lift the trophy at Wembley continues. 16 teams sealed their progression into the Euro 2020 round of 16, while 8 others were knocked out from the competition. It was the Group F, also known as the Group of Death, that produced a rollercoaster show on Wednesday, where heavyweights like Germany, France and Portugal were in action. All 3 of them qualified for the knockouts, while with Portugal securing their progression as one of the best third-place teams. It's fair to say that quite a lot of groups were on the brink of producing upsets in the end. The teams who were touted as the pre-tournament favourites progressed to the knockouts. Spain, the team with the joint most European Championship titles, had to wait till the last game to book their qualification. But even a 5-0 win over Slovakia saw them progress as runner-ups in Group E. Poland would have fancied their chances with Slovakia and Sweden being the other 2 sides in Group E, but they could only finish 4th. The round of 16 would now begin from Saturday with the first fixture of the knockout between Wales and Denmark at Amsterdam. Some mouth-watering battles will also be seen in the round of 16. Italy vs Austria, 27 June. Netherlands vs Czech Republic, 27 June. Belgium vs Portugal, 28 June. Croatia vs Spain, 28 June. France vs Switzerland, 29th June. England vs Germany, 29 June. And Sweden vs Ukraine, 30th June. Now it's time for some key stats from the Europe's elite tournament. Euro records most appearances is for, as far as here we look, the Cristiano Ronaldo tops the list with 24 appearances at the Euro, followed by the German player Bastian Schweinsteiger and 17th appearances Gianluigi Buffon for Italy. And the most goals, the Ronaldo tops the list, 14 goals, and followed by Michel Platini, then Antoine Griezmann for France, and Alan Shearer, 7 for England. So, as far as the most goal in the single edition is concerned, Michel Platini did that in the 1984 edition. And the fastest goal by Dmitry Krychenko is after 1 minute 7 seconds for Russia, and that is in 2004 edition of the Euro Championships. And the fastest hat-trick, it is by the Michel Platini within the duration of 18 minutes, and that is against Yugoslavia, and it is in the 1984 editions of the Euro. One of the most final appearances at the Euro finals appearances is by Ronaldo, that is in 5 appearances in the 5 editions since 2004. And the most final wins and the most time the team that won the trophy is Spain, that is 3 times in 1964, 2008, 2012, and Germany 1972, 1980 and 1996. So these were the most successful team at the European Championships. And we can say that this time the Spain and the Germany will try to increase that number of trophies to their cabinet, but right now in this edition, France and Italy are looking favorite to lift the trophy. My colleague Anil Thomas is joining us on the show to analyze the 8 ties that will greet us at the last 16 stage of the tournament. Anil, in a blockbuster match, England will face Germany, and England have never won the tournament, going closest in the 1996 when they lost to Germany in the semi-finals. Germany narrowly avoided a shock elimination and secured the runners-up spot in Group F. Anil, can England get past Germany this time?
You started on the right note, Nara, and looking at the way England have played in this particular tournament. Remember, this is the first time after 1966 that they have not conceded a goal in the group stage. They have not shown their scoring prowess. They have rather been, focusing on the defense. And I think full marks to the manager, the way in which he's gone about with his, resources that he's had. He's not tried to go, full throttle there. The tournament is still very much in its initial stages. And I think that could be one of the super matches that one could look at in the round of 16. There are two other matches where Belgium is in action. That could be a super thriller. Also, Spain versus Croatia is something that one would look forward to. But England versus Germany, that's going to be where every eye is on. And, England have that sea of expectations that they need to come good at the big stage. This time around, they haven't conceded, just like they did in 1966. Let's hope they can go the distance. But I think good performance. But you can't take anything away from Germany. Germany started the tournament not as hot favorites, but when you see the poll at the end of round one, look at the superb runs that they had. They have scored the highest number of goals in this tournament as a team. They have got the accuracy when it comes to passing. They have got Joachim Löw, the manager, who's on his final goodbye in this particular tournament. So they've got many goods going for them. So it's not going to be an easy encounter for England. I think Southgate will have to get his best act together if he needs to surprise Germany, because Germany as a team are no pushovers in any big tournaments, and it's not going to be an easy task for England. But having said that, England have been, what would you say? England have been perfect in the way in which they have executed the coach's plan or manager's plan in this tournament, and one would expect a cracker of a contest between the two. It's not going to be a high-scoring drama, but it's going to be something small and something narrow. But the team that is able to hold its head on the shoulders on that particular night is going to have the last laugh between England and Germany.
Anil, if we talk about the pre-tournament favorites, France, Belgium, Germany, Portugal are the pre-tournament favorites of this tournament. But as the tournaments progress, we saw teams like Italy and teams like Belgium and Netherlands, they are the only three teams who remain, they won all their three group matches. If you talk about the goals scored, Italy has not conceded even a single goal, and Belgium also conceded a single goal. And as far as the other teams, the big guns like France, they considered 3, Portugal 6. So it is looking like that the paradigm is shifting from pre-tournament favorites, and Italy comes into the party, Belgium is there, and Netherlands is there. So who do you think is now the favorite team to lift the coveted trophy?
Well, exactly. You put it rightly. Three teams that you mentioned: Italy, Belgium, Netherlands. Look at the polls, or look at, when the tournament began, the polls that were done at the initial phase of the tournament. Italy had 4% chances of winning the tournament. Belgium 8. Netherlands was not even in any way striking distance. Germany and Netherlands had a 0% chance of winning this particular tournament. Now, at the end of group phase, you have Italy that's got 15% chance, because Italy has been, Italy has managed to get a clean sheet in all the three matches. Manager has been stupendous in the way in which he's gone about with the resources. Players who have come from the bench have come good for Italy. So Italy looks like a well-oiled, well-orchestrated unit. So that's the big plus, that Italy goes into the round of 16. Belgium, they are the world #1 ranked team, but they have not come good at the big stage on many occasions. The last World Cup, the World Cup before that, it's almost the same resources, but they have got many experienced legs there in the middle, and that's going to count for Italy and Belgium. The same is with Netherlands. They missed the World Cup, they missed Euro, so there is an urge for them to prove something this time around. And I think the pressure, the onus is on Netherlands. Netherlands in any tournament, be it Euro, be it the World Cup, are a fascinating side. They've got a good support, not only in Europe, but all across the world. Netherlands has a great support even in India. So, these three sides have been good in this particular tournament. It's now, the boys are left out. The men are still left behind in this tournament. From 24 teams, we are down to 16. So these 16 teams, no team can on a given night. It doesn't matter. Your rankings don't matter. Your pedigree doesn't matter. Your experience doesn't matter. On that given night, 90 minutes of action, how you perform, any team will have the last laugh. So it's not going to be easy, but they have shown good form in the initial part of the tournament. And the billing that they had as pre-tournament, the pre-tournament percentage of chances that they had of winning the tournament. And now when you look at the end of group stage, it's a different ball game when it comes to Italy, Belgium, and for Netherlands. Netherlands was not even in the ranking. So, Netherlands have taken giant steps in this tournament. They are still 4%, less than 10% chance of winning the tournament. But I think Netherlands have impressed many with the style of football that they brought. And I think people are expecting them to go a little more, at least till the quarterfinals or the semi-finals. But it'll be too early to say for any other teams. But I think the way in which Italy have gone about in this particular tournament, 30 matches unbeaten, the goalkeeper has been stupendous. The defense as well as the strikers, they both come good. So I think among the three teams that you mentioned, I think Italy and Belgium are in a different league altogether. But Netherlands too, slowly, not behind, but Netherlands too catching up in that rat race for one of the four teams to reach the semi-finals.
Anil, as far as Italy is the team right now we are watching, Italy always known for the catenaccio style of football, the ultra defensive football. Right now the Mancini is moving away from that philosophy. The players like Insigne, Locatelli, Ciro Immobile hitting hard at the goal mouth. So Mancini, do you think from ultra defensive also bringing that attacking flair in his style of play?
Well, Italians are known to be a defensive unit. Any tournament that they play, you can roll back to 2006 when they won the World Cup. They are generally a defensive unit by nature. They would love to defend themselves and go for that attacking or go for a single goal margin to win a match. But this particular Italian side, 30-match unbeaten streak, look, an altogether transformed side under Roberto Mancini. He's bought that mojo back in that particular team. The mojo of scoring more goals in a tournament, and that's what is the surprise package that Italy have brought to the tournament. You don't expect Italy to come and score 2-3 goals in a match, but Italians have shown that they mean business and they want to score goals and seal the match. Or not let the opposition stage a comeback in the second half. So that's something that Mancini has brought about in this side, and that's a big plus that when you look at an Italian side, how different or a 360 U-turn that an Italian side promises in this particular tournament, from a billing of say somewhere around 6% to jump to 15% as the group stage or as the group stage got over, clearly speaks volumes about the team's chances in this particular tournament. And Italians, the way in which they have gone about, they have been clinical behind. The midfield has been, doing that up and down, running clearly, and they don't seem to be, except for that injury that the captain picked up in that second game, they have looked clinical in this particular tournament. And that's the big worry for all the big players. They don't run into Italy pretty early because Italians, the form that they have shown in this particular tournament, I think they have the legs to go the distance, especially to the final. But having said that, football is a beautiful game. And, we always see surprises in a tournament. Many a times we see the big guns fall. It could be one bad night of 90 minutes and Italy could be out of this tournament. But for that to happen, some team has to play, brilliant football to surprise them. At this point of time, Italians look crystal clear. They look pretty settled in all the positions that they are playing, especially the running up and down that they are doing, the players are doing. And, the positional play that they do, they are not into too much of holding the ball. They are rather letting, the game go on and not wanting too much of possession play like the Spanish want to do. If you look at Spanish numbers, Spain managed to, from the group, managed to be second. But look at the positional play that Spain still manages to hold, roughly around 67% in the group stage. Italians don't believe that. They play with the ball, but it's not positional play that they are doing. And I think every player knows his role in this team. And that's the big plus. Manager has less to worry when every player in the team or every position that a player is playing, he knows in and out what his role is there in the 90 minutes of action there in the field. And that's a big plus that Roberto Mancini has, I think, over all other teams in this particular tournament.
So the beautiful game is full of uncertainty. And Anil, you stay with us. We move to our next story. The records just keep coming in for Cristiano Ronaldo. He has only played 3 matches in Euro 2020 and has already collected another moments of history. Ronaldo became the all-time top scorer at the European Championships. Ronaldo has now 14 goals in the competition, leaving France's Michel Platini behind on 9. More in this report.
Another day, another record for Cristiano Ronaldo when he appeared against France in Group F matches and extended his remarkable run of scoring 14 consecutive international tournaments, stretching back to his first at Euro 2004. Tributes for Ronaldo pour in after Portugal superstar became top goal scorer in men's Euro. In international men's football, Ronaldo levels former Iranian striker Al-Daei, who scored 109 between 1993 and 2006. Since Ronaldo's first international goal against Greece in opening game of Euro, he turned up in the closing stages to make sure the job is done. That in itself is a testament of Ronaldo's supreme fitness and determination. Almost 19 years of making his debut for Sporting Lisbon, It is a mark of Juventus forward enduring greatness that he is still pursuing himself to score in the final moment when the most of players are feeling the physical effect of draining 90 minutes. Ronaldo is a peerless example to his teammates and to footballers across the globe because his enthusiasm and desire remains equally intense when he first started playing as a teenager. Sports Desk, DD India.
Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo stamped his class once again, scoring twice against France and lifting his side into ongoing UEFA 2020 tournament. At 36, what keeps him going? That's the big question. Anil, a great player, breaking records in every match. Now he's also the international top scorer, also after breaking the record at the Euro 2020. Anil, what keeps him going, this great player?
See, the biggest factor that Ronaldo brings to the table is, Ronaldo on the pitch, off the field has been, the talk of the town, I would say, of this particular tournament. Look at the goals that he scored. 5 goals in this tournament, 1 assist. He is the I would say he's the spine of Portugal attack. He's the man who kept Portugal together, especially in that last group stage match against France, where he scored a double, broke Ali Dai's record of 109 goals in international matches. So clearly he sets the tone, for Portugal to progress in the tournament. He helped the team win the tournament in 2016. So many expect him to shoulder that burden of especially taking the team this time through. He's still, the manner in which he's managed to control the team is a big plus for Portugal. But remember, that's also a big negative or a big minus when you go into this, round of 16, where every team would know that you need to zero in on Cristiano with a double cover, and then, Portugal look like an ordinary unit. And that's a big cause of concern for any manager, as you head to the knockout stage. But Cristiano Ronaldo has been, super impressive. On the field, 5 goals, 1 assist. Off the field, in that press conference where he removed a cola brand, and, millions were, wiped off the table, especially when it comes to valuation of the brand. So he clearly knows that he is the star of the tournament, and he means business, especially when it comes to European Championship. And he's held on to that, that trophy for one long year. And I think the charm of retaining it for another 4 is very much in his mind. But it's going to be a tough ask for Portugal, because they are banking on one player to do the talking. 2016, they had 2 more strikers, especially at the up front, who could help them, in case Ronaldo is marked heavily. But this time around, it looks like a tough ask from here on. The longer they survive in this particular tournament, it's going to be interesting, because with Cristiano Ronaldo as a brand and Cristiano Ronaldo as a super icon that one looks forward to. He's 36 and age. So, you're still looking at, if you're looking at a round of 16, a quarter-final, a semi-final and final, that's almost 360 minutes of action if you leave extra time out in any of the matches. That's 360 minutes of action non-stop over the next fortnight. And that's a bit of an ask for Cristiano Ronaldo to do, because if he is heavily marked, then the other players have to perform. And in a tightly guarded contest where they are trailing or where they are behind, it's going to be an uphill task. Ronaldo has managed to bail them out in that outing against France, but can he do it again and again over the next 4 matches is going to be a big ask for Portugal. And I think that's where Cristiano Ronaldo becomes more of an asset and, also a liability. It's a mixed bag when it comes to heavily bankable strikers, who are the people to watch, or the people.
Anil, as you said, is a heavily bankable striker, but right now the GOAT debate, the greatest of all time debate, is on the social media. So, Twitter has already declared Messi as the greatest of all time, but the Ronaldo fans are defending him. As far as the GOAT debate is concerned, who do you find? It is Ronaldo, Messi, or the Maradona, Pele? Because they both of them, Ronaldo and Messi, they don't have the World Cup in their cabinet, while Pele and Maradona, they do have that coveted trophy in their cabinet.
It's always unfair to compare players over generations. But having said that, the 4 players that you mentioned, I think Pele, with the stupendous run and the stupendous success that he had, especially when it comes to World Cup and Brazil winning it, is head, or is way above all the other 3 mentioned. Maradona did have a role to play, but Maradona also had his shade of darkness that was involved with every World Cup that he was associated with, be it drugs. There were other issues that Maradona faced. So Maradona comes second. Yes, our generation has seen more of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and we're still looking for the next superstar to come and, or to take over that mantle, just like in tennis, it's the big three, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal. Something similar in football. You've got a Cristiano Ronaldo, you've got a Lionel Messi. There is always talk that Cristiano Ronaldo is better or Lionel Messi is better. But remember, Lionel Messi has played most of his football with Argentina and with Barcelona. And Cristiano Ronaldo, why do I rank him better, or why do I am rated better or a little higher than Lionel Messi, is for the simple reason he's had success in every football that every football, when I say he's played in England, he's played in Spain, he's played in Italy, he's got success everywhere. He's played in Portugal, he's got success with the Portugal team, winning the last edition of Euro. And if you see from 2004, 2004, 8, 12, 16, and this edition, he scored goals in every tournament. So that makes him a complete player. Now, when you look at in the last game against France, where he scored a double and has overtaken Ali Dahi with 109 goals, clearly sends out a different story. When it comes to the country, Cristiano Ronaldo does do more than what a Lionel Messi does. If Lionel Messi can do that, especially taking Argentina to a World Cup with, it could be a different story. But
even Copa is missing from his cabinet.
Now, I think Cristiano Ronaldo would have a slight edge over Lionel Messi.
So as far as Ronaldo and Messi is concerned, you are saying that Ronaldo has a slight edge over Messi. Now we are moving to next story. You stay with us. The Euro 2020 format has been criticized, but there is no doubt that it produced a gripping night in which every conceivable scenario seemed to come into play. So fine were the margins between victory and defeat that Germany, Portugal and Hungary faced elimination for at least few moments during the 90 minutes. Ultimately, it was Hungary who finished bottom of the group. Let's have a look on the fans' reaction.
Hungary fans felt almost every emotion as their team just missed out on qualifying for the last 16 of the European Championship in Budapest. Cheering their nation on from a fan zone, the supporters saw Hungary take the lead twice against Germany in Munich, but they were pegged back twice to draw 2-2.
Pedig járunk meccsekre, soha senki nem számított. Tehát az, hogy mi a 83. percig izgulunk, hogy Münchenben megverjük a németeket, álmomban.
The result meant Hungary were eliminated from the competition. But before they conceded the second equalizer, Marco Rossi's team were close to a last 16 match against England or Belgium. Hungary drew with both France and Germany, having frustrated Portugal for most of their opening game before eventually losing 3-0. On the other side, Germany fans were delirious with excitement as they watched their team fight back twice to draw 2-2 with Hungary and earn a place in the last 16 of the Euro 2020.
Deutschland hat sich ziemlich gequält, muss ich sagen. Das Ergebnis, ja, ist okay. Also ich kann damit leben. Sind jetzt Zweiter, glaube ich, in der Gruppe und ja.
The Allianz Arena was illuminated in the colors of the German and the Hungarian flags as supporters left the venue after the match. French fans were proud to see Les Bleus finish top of the group, who crowded around bar terraces in Paris to watch their team draw 2-2 with Portugal. The world champions faced the European Championship holders in a very tight game in which Karim Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo scored 2 goals each. For Benzema, it was his first goal for France since 2015 after ending a 5-year exile with the national team, making his fans such as Yasser Relay joyful to see him shine in the team. France will now play Switzerland in the last 16 in Bucharest on Monday. Sports Desk, DD India.
There have been 8 own goals already at the Euro 2020, and that's the same as at 6 tournaments combined from 1996 to 2016, with Mats Hummels and Ruben Diaz among those at fault. So many own goals at this tournament. So, Anil, there are two blockbuster matches in the knockout rounds. That is last 16. Already we have discussed Germany versus England. And another big clash, that is Portugal versus Belgium. Two great teams, fantastic players in both the squads. Belgium, we have De Bruyne, Lukaku is there. And in Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo is there. And that is Man City star is there. Manchester United players are there. Bruno Fernandes is there. So, how do you look that contest between the two big teams of the Europe?
Well, Narayan, you mentioned two, I will make it three. On that particular night when Belgium faces Portugal, there is another super match, that's Croatia taking on Spain. Why is it interesting? For the simple reason, Spain does more of possessional play of football. If you look at the group stage, roughly around 67 to 68% play when it comes to ball position that they have had in the tournament. And Croatia, last World Cup losing finalists, and Croatia, the team that is there, Luka Modric, the experience that they bring to the table, they are no pushover. So that's going to be another cracker of a contest, especially looking at the form and the pedigree that these two teams bring to the middle. Yeah, surely, England versus Germany is going to be that mouth-watering contest that one looks forward to on Tuesday night. But on a Monday night too, there are two interesting contests, and I would still say, this particular contest, Belgium versus Portugal, it's going to be that, reminder of, France versus Portugal, something similar to that, Karim Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo, at the end of the match, having Cristiano Ronaldo having his head on Karim Benzema's shoulder, something similar could be seen here. It's going to be a good contest, good contest of football, but I would clearly say that Belgium have the edge because Belgium have not one, but three strikers up front, and all three strikers in form. Kevin De Bruyne also plays a withdrawn midfielder. So, Kevin De Bruyne too has his scoring boots so on. So it could be a tough ask for Portugal defense. If Portugal can sustain that pressure of not letting Belgium score, because Belgium as a team, if they don't get an early goal, or if they go, say into the lemon break with no goals against their name, they look a different side altogether. They look a bit jittery when they don't have an early goal against their name. But if Belgium managed to get an early goal in that outing against Portugal, it's going to be a different ball game. Portugal will be the one attacking, and Belgium will counter-attack and get that second goal in that outing. But if Portugal can maintain that pressure, if Portugal defense can survive that first half, not letting a goal in, it could be anyone's game in that particular outing. Croatia and Spain, as I mentioned, it's different. And it's going to be, a lot of midfield play that you're going to see, because Croatia is not going to go for much of ball possession, but Croatia will see to it that they get that goal, a single goal to sneak from that particular phase into the quarterfinals. So it's going to be three contests that I look forward to. But remember, neither France nor Italy nor Netherlands are we talking about in the round of 16. So they all have, I would say, easy matches, especially in this stage, and we could look forward to them in the round of 8.
Definitely, the way the contest, that is Belgium versus Portugal, is looking. Belgium is a world-class team, Portugal too, a contest to watch out for. Thanks, Anil, for giving your valuable inputs on the Euro 2020. And that's all in this special broadcast on the Euro 2020. Before we wrap up, we'll leave you with these fan moments at the Euro 2020. Namaskar.